Good evening and welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time. I'm getting ready to make some dog biscuits for the local Humane Society. I got the recipe from them. I'm going to go over the list of ingredients because I'm going to double it. It's a little bit too much if you're just making some for your own 1 or 2 dogs. So it's 2 cups of all-purpose white flour, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter, and make sure it doesn't have the artificial sweetener that's not good for dogs. I can't remember what it's called. 1 cup of hot water, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. So this is the one the Humane Society gave me. They resell the dog biscuits that we make, and they make money for the shelter. So, and I'll put the actual original recipe, I'll put in the comments below this video also. But I'm going to double it. Before I get started, I'm going to make a cup of hot coffee because even though my oven's heating up, it's really chilly in here. We're expecting snow tomorrow, so I decided to go ahead and try and bake these and dehydrate them. You do have to dehydrate them if you're planning to store them for a long period of time. You can do it in a dehydrator or in your oven. I'm going to start with 2 cups of white flour. I mean 4, because I'm doubling the recipe. That's 4. 2 cups of whole wheat flour. Cup of peanut butter. And it says to cut it into the flour, so I'm going to use my pastry blender, if I can find it. It's been a few months since I made the last batch, so I'm thinking I'm going to end up using my hands to mix this with, but I'm going to start out with the pastry blender. It's probably over a cup, but that's okay. Just mixing the peanut butter in with the flour now. It says add a cup of hot water and 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. So I'm gonna add 2 for this recipe. Cup. 2. And it's just hot tap water, it's not boiling. And then 4 tablespoons of cooking oil. That one. Just gonna mix all this up. If you had a stand mixer, this would probably be easier, but I don't. I think that's good and mixed. Flouring my cutting board. You're just gonna roll it out like you would cookies. So it says roll out thinner than 1/4 of an inch, so the bones will be approximately 1/4 inch thick when baked. You bake them at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. It says the bones will not brown, they should be light tan. And no matter how hard I try to get them all uniform, of course they never are. If they were too thin or too thick, or they were kind of off, chewy, and my granddogs would get those, the cast-offs. You can see. Just pick them up and put them on the baking dish. The baking pan. I think these are thicker than 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to roll these out again. Okay, I'm going to roll it out. I'm just going to cut them out now. I don't know if you can tell. I think this is about perfect. A little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. It's hard to see. Just gonna put them on the sheet I'm going to finish rolling the rest out. I think I'm going to redo some of these because I think they're too thick. So here's one of the pans of ready to bake dog biscuits. Okay, they're in the oven. They're gonna bake for 20 minutes or so, and I will check back. So I just checked on the dog biscuits, and they're still a little soft in the oven. So I'm gonna bake them for 5 more minutes, so 25 total. And you need to, it depends on your oven basically. So I just got my dehydrator out. And then if you don't have a dehydrator, in order to dehydrate them after they're baked, you leave them on the lowest setting of your oven for 2 to 4 hours. And you would just check on them after a couple hours to make sure they were dry. I did a Google search to see how long dehydrated dog biscuits would last, and there were anywhere from a few weeks to 6 months or more. I wouldn't keep them 6 months because when you're making them at home, you can't test the actual dryness of them. There's no way to know how much moisture is in there, and you don't want to give your dog something that's molding inside. So, one of the sites did say to keep it in an airtight container after you dehydrate them, and that will make them last longer. These are hard when they're done. They're not soft, so it's different than if you just baked a soft baked dog biscuit or treat or something. So I'm gonna start out dehydrating them. Once I pull them out, it has about 3 more minutes on the oven, the first batch, and I will then start moving them to the dehydrator. So this is how they look when they're done. They are slightly brown, but not a whole lot. So I'm going to put these in the dehydrator now and then transfer the rest of the ones that haven't been baked onto one of these sheets and bake the rest. So I just counted all the biscuits, and there's 84 of them for a double recipe, so half would make about 42. So they're in the dehydrator. So in case you were wondering, I haven't done anything else on the house other than try to hang some pictures in the back room. It's just been cold and miserable here, and I haven't felt like doing anything. I am gonna start back because I don't have that much more to go through, and I kind of want it done. Snowstorm coming in. I don't know if anything's gonna be open, including the thrift store anyway. So packing my car full of stuff, it's not really gonna go anywhere probably. And tomorrow, I've been craving a cheeseburger for a while now. So the frugal thing would be to go and buy some ground beef and make my own. But I think I'm going to drive out to a little diner. It's a 50s diner. It just opened back up today. After I drop the cookies off, I'll probably go there and just get me a little cheeseburger and a little thing of fries, and show you the cute little diner. The diner is inside of an old, looks like an old gas station slash mechanic shop. It has the old garage doors on the front of it. It's really cute. And they have this old, I think 1950s car outside. So I don't know if I'll be videotaping inside though. Just depends on how many people are there. Don't know about videotaping in public yet. So we'll see. I also was going to mention that if you want to make like a small batch of these and only bake them, you could do that, and then you could store them in the fridge. So some of the websites said that if you were storing soft baked goods, which is what it would be, dog treats, that you could store them up to 5 days, I think, in the fridge. So, and you can do a Google search and see how comfortable you are with how long you want to store these and where. I probably wouldn't store them outside the fridge unless you were dehydrating them though. But you could save some money. Just bake a small batch, enough to last your pet a few days. I mean, it's up to you, because running your stove is expensive, especially the big stove. If you have a little one, it's not quite as bad. So if you had a little stove and you made a small batch or a couple small batches, and I think it would still be cheaper than buying dog biscuits now out in, or treats of any kind really, out in the stores. So I'm getting ready to heat up some leftover one pot quinoa that I made the other day. This is a, it's not a big dinner plate, it's a luncheon plate. But this is about what I can eat, especially once I put the avocado on here. It's in the wrapper there. But you can see how much it made. I think this is my 4th or 5th meal out of this, and I still have one more out of that one pot dish I made the other day. So I got quite a few meals out of it. So this is after almost 2 hours, and they're still soft. So I'm going to put them I'm going to add some more time. So I just added a couple hours. They may not need to dehydrate for that long. I'll check them. I probably wouldn't do it that long if they weren't going to be sold to people. And I don't know how long they need to be stored for. So I'm just trying to make sure that they're not going to go bad before somebody's pet eats them. So you probably don't have to dehydrate them for that long for home use, I wouldn't think. I'm getting really tired. So thank you all for watching. I hope you try this recipe if you have dogs. Chewy really liked them. So did my grand dogs, Butter and Dink. I have a couple that are not perfect, especially the last one I made. It's really lumpy. So I might bag those up separately, and so maybe they can give those to the shelter dogs. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye.